Hello, future LPTs! I am Teacher Lilian, and this is our BLEP Review series of 2025. So, together with the other teachers, I will guide and help you prepare and become smarter for your examination. In this video, I will be covering the teaching and the assessment of the macro skills, and I prepared questions that might appear on your examination. So, sit back, take notes, and let's get you one step closer to that license. So before we start with our review, I will give you a few tips on how to understand and answer the questions faster and accurately. First is, of course, you have to read the questions carefully. Next, look for the keywords or clues. Dissect the question and don't forget to trust yourself. Okay, so I will give you 5 seconds to answer each questions. Okay, so get your pen and papers ready. Let's start with the first question. The first question is, which refers to an active process wherein language learners receive, construct meaning from, and respond to both verbal and non-verbal messages. A. Hearing. B. Listening. C. Speaking. D. Reading. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter B. Listening. So why listening? Because listening is an active process that involves receiving sounds, either verbal and non-verbal cues, constructing meaning from them, and then responding appropriately. While the other options we have hearing. Hearing is a passive skill. It pertains to just perceiving sound. And reading is about decoding and understanding written language, not the verbal and non-verbal messages. And speaking is a productive skill, not a receptive one. It doesn't focus, or it's not focused on receiving messages. It involves generating and expressing ideas through verbal language. Okay, let's proceed to the next question. Which of the following refers to analyzing and comprehending information listened to using one's previous knowledge and experience of the world? A. Bottom-up process. B. Schema theory. C. Interactive process. D. Top-down process. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is top-down process, letter D. So why top-down process? Because top-down process refers to analyzing and understanding information based on a listener's prior knowledge, experiences, and contextual clues. While the other options we have bottom-up process. Bottom-up process focuses on decoding the message step by step, starting from sounds, words, and then the grammar without necessarily drawing on prior knowledge. So it's more about processing the actual language input than connecting it with existing knowledge. Next is we have the schema theory. Schema theory, it's a theory. It's not a process. So it just explains how we use schemas based on prior knowledge to understand new information. And interactive process, it combines both top-down and bottom-up processes. While this answer can be connected, remember that the question is specific. The question is asking, it's not asking for the combination of the process. So be wary of that. Okay, be specific. So letter D, top-down process, is the one that fits the description. Okay? So let's have the next question. Ma'am Rhea asked her students to listen to a recording and answer a multiple choice question. Afterward, she asked them to raise their hands to indicate according to what choice they answered. She then asked students to explain why they choose their answers. This is an example of what? A. Formative assessment. B. Feedbacking. C. Summative assessment. D. Responsive listening. So you have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter A, formative assessment. Why? Okay, let's go back to the question. Okay, so you have to analyze the question properly. Which do you think is the assessment being used here by Ma'am Rhea? Again, try to define each of the choices and compare which is best suited to the question. So, formative assessment refers to ongoing assessment that helps the teacher gather information on students' learning during the instructional process. Feedbacking, it refers to giving feedback to students about their performance. And summative assessment, it happens at the end of a unit or lesson to evaluate the learning outcomes. While responsive listening, it is a type of listening activity where learners react to what they hear. So therefore, the correct answer is letter A, formative assessment. Okay? Let's proceed to the next question. What is an act of speech that describes the effect of our words that entails a person to do something? A, illocutionary act. B, perlocutionary act. C, locutionary act. And D, speech act. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter B, perlocutionary act. Why? Because the perlocutionary act refers to the effect that the speaker's words have on a listener. While the other option, we have A, illocutionary act. It refers to the intended function behind the speaker's statement. It's like requesting, commanding, and etc. Next is we have the locutionary act. Locutionary act is the producing sounds and words with a certain meaning. So there's no describing the effect, okay? And speech act, it refers to the general term that includes these three, okay? So letter B, perlocutionary act, is the best answer for this question. Okay, let's proceed to the next question. Which of the following refers to the level of formality and style in speaking anchored on different situations and context? Letter A, speech register. B, speech act. C, speech delivery. D, formal register. So you have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter A, speech register. So again, you have to look for the clues within the question. Then you try to compare each choice and choose what is best suited with the question. So A, speech register, it refers to the level of formality and style that the speaker uses depending on the context, situation, audience, and purpose. While speech act, we encountered this earlier, again, it refers to the function or intention behind an utterance. While speech delivery, this is about how a speech is presented, including the voice modulation, the gestures, spacing, etc. So it deals with the performance. It's not about the language, style, or the formality. And formal register is just a one type of speech register. The question is asking about the general concept that includes all levels of formality. So this one is too specific. So therefore, the answer is letter A, speech register. Next question. Which principle in assessing students consider that time is often limited, resources may not be available, and students' concentration is finite, and that teachers should also consider the quality of the task over its quantity? A, reliability. B, authenticity. C, practicality. D, validity. You have 5 seconds to answer. So the answer is letter C, practicality. So why? Because the question is asking which principle in assessing student consider these limitations. So in letter A, reliability, it refers to the consistency of an assessment. Authenticity, it refers to how real-world or relevant an assessment task is. And practicality, it considers the time, resources, attention span, and the task efficiency. And validity ensures that the task is aligned with the objectives, but it doesn't focus on the feasibility of resources. So therefore, letter C, practicality, is the best answer for this question, okay? So let's have the next question. What do you call the act of producing the sounds of speech, including articulation, stress, and intonation? A. Fluency. B. Pronunciation. C. Vocabulary. D. Accuracy. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter B, pronunciation. Why? Because in the question, producing is the clue here. So among the choices that we have, pronunciation is the only one that refers to the act of producing the sounds of speech. In fluency, it refers to the ability to speak smoothly and without hesitation. While good pronunciation supports fluency, it's not the same thing, okay? In vocabulary, it refers to the set of words that a person knows and uses. It's about the word choice and meaning. It's not about sound production, okay? And accuracy is about using the correct grammar, the vocabulary, and the pronunciation. It's a broader concept that includes pronunciation, but it's not specific. It doesn't focus on producing the sound alone, okay? So therefore, the correct answer is pronunciation. Let's proceed to the next question, which refers to a basic reading skill that focuses on the understanding that spoken words comprise the individual sounds of the spoken language. A. Phonological awareness. B. Comprehension. C. Fluency. D. Vocabulary development. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter A, phonological awareness. So the question is talking about the skill that focuses on the understanding that spoken words comprise the individual sounds of the spoken language. And if we define each choices, we have comprehension. Comprehension is the understanding and the interpretation of what is read. Fluency, it's the ability to read with speed, accuracy, and proper expression. While vocabulary development, it refers to the words that people know and appropriately use in certain conditions. And when we say phonological awareness, it is the child's ability to recognize and manipulate the individual sounds in spoken words, okay? So that's why letter A, phonological awareness, is the best answer. Let's have the next question. Our understanding of Gardner's multiple intelligences theory would tell us that students differ in the way they learn. Some may learn when engaged in receptive communication activities, while others learn when engaged in production activities. Which purpose of writing it refers to? A. Reinforcement. B. Language development. C. Writing as a skill. D. Learning style. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter D, learning style. Why? Again, analyze the question. You have to understand the question fully. Look for the clues within the questions, okay? Why letter D, learning style, is the answer? Because learning style refers to the differences in how students learn based on their individual preferences. While the other options, we have reinforcement. Reinforcement talks about the practice to strengthen language retention. Language development, it's about the growth in language ability through writing. And writing as a skill focuses on writing as an independent language skill. So therefore, letter D, learning style, is the best answer for this question. Okay, so let's have the last question. Which stage in the writing process looks into content structure, substance, and organization? A. Pre-writing. B. Drafting. C. Revising. D. Editing. You have 5 seconds to answer. The answer is letter C, revising. Why? Again, dissect the question, analyze, look for the clues, and define each choice as possible. So all of the choices talks about the writing process. In pre-writing, it involves choosing the topic and the generation of ideas in writing. And drafting, it's about the development of the key ideas that is outlined in the previous stage. So you're writing the first version of the text here. And in editing, it prepares the output for final submission. Here is where you polish your grammar, your mechanics, and your style. And you're also revisiting the writing format required. So among the choices that we have, the one that looks into content structure, substance, and organization is the revising stage. So the best answer for this question is letter C, revising. And that's all for our review on the teaching and assessment of the macro skills. Remember, every bit of preparation counts, whether it's listening, speaking, reading, writing, or viewing. Each skill builds your edge as a future professional teacher. So keep reviewing, keep believing, and trust the process. You've got this. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Once again, I am Teacher Lilian, and this is BLEPT Review Series of 2025.